Welcome to the channel. I'm Stacy, and my goal here is to help you to play better and sound better in your worship services. Today I'm in part 2 of a 3-part series where I have a few pieces of outdated gear that I'm putting to the test and seeing if it's really outdated or if it's just kind of become old and we moved on because there are new cool things coming out. The first piece I did was the Line 6 Pod 2.0. And while that piece of gear might be tough to pull off on its own for a service, it served great as amps. I've got it sitting over here. It could serve great as your amp, and you've got like a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay. I wouldn't use it for any of those things. I would run my pedal board into it the way I do my HX Stomp. So if my Stomp went down and I was in a bind, that piece of gear right there would get me through my Sunday. I have another piece that's a bit more robust, but also probably equally outdated. And today, not so robust, but also equally outdated, is the NUX Amp Force. So I picked this thing up somewhere around 2016, 2017, and I used it in my services for a while, probably close to about a year before I got my HX Stomp. And I liked it. It comes with 12 onboard amp simulations, and the thing it's got up here, true simulation of analog circuit. So I'm guessing it's digital. It's a simulation of an analog circuit, but it's not hard to dial in. And we'll see here in a minute if it sounds good when you dial it in. The 12 amps it gives you are, let's see, we got the Jazz Clean up front. It's going to be like the Jazz Chorus without the chorus. It's a solid state amp from possibly the late 70s, for sure early 80s. And then we have a black panel, and I think that's somewhere around a deluxe reverb to a twin reverb. I don't notice the mid scoop that a deluxe reverb has. It seems to be a bit full frequency. And then the drive on under the gain doesn't really get gritty like a deluxe reverb can. But it's got something there. So, and then it has an AC30, Bassman, a handful of Marshalls, a handful of other kind of high gain options. But today I'm going to focus on finding a tone that will sound great on my board, replacing my HX Stomp. And should I be in a bind, I could pull that off and plug this in. I do have it going into my ProSonus 2-channel, just a little, just a digital input. So it's got the USB cable out into the DAW. And I just have the 2 outputs on the Amp Force going into that. And so I'm getting a stereo signal to record for this project. All right, so let's see, get my glasses so I can see what I'm doing and get my earbuds. All right, so we'll turn it on. We have Jazz Clean on both channels. We can change that right here. This button will select the left or the right. This one was going to go through the amp model, so we'll go black panel, and then on this one, we'll try the Bluesman. So it's like I said, a black panel and a Bassman, and let's see what we got. Not terrible, but let's bring that gain down on the black panel. Let's see. Pan that left. And then over here is where we change the EQ. Crank the mids. Not too bad. I like that. Come back over here. Go to the Bluesman. Like that. That's the black panel. I do want to crank this one more so I have a clean amp on one side, a little bit more grit on the other. Crank the mids. That's not bad. Let's plug some effects into it. So let's see, we'll turn on the compressor. It seems to be compressing quite a bit. I like that. I don't know. It sounds pretty good. I could probably do a little bit more tweaking. There seems to be a little bit of kind of top end that maybe I could take down. But I hadn't planned on turning on the pedals. But I thought it'd be fun to try it once I had the camera running. So that's how this one turned out. I feel like that would be a usable tone. And I didn't even get into the AC30. So just a black panel with a Bassman sounded pretty good. All right, let me know in the comments. What do you think? If you've got a piece of outdated gear that you have hidden in a closet, or if it's on your board, let us know. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, subscribe and hit that like button for good measure. If you need song resources, there are links in the description box below to take you where you need to go. There are a handful of downloads free for you in there as well. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.